our Muslim brothers and sisters as anti-national and telling them to go to Pakistan.
From Nawab Siraj-ud-Dawla, who fought the British in the Battle of Plassey, to Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore.
Well, the British colonial strategy of divide and rule planted deep-seated divisions among us. Leaders like Bahadur Shah Zafar played crucial roles.
Such hate speech severely impacts social cohesion. The sacrifices of Muslim freedom fighters like Ashfaqullah Khan.
Recent book highlights the life of 40 renowned Muslim freedom fighters, figures like Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, and was an icon of Hindu-Muslim unity, and Begum Hazrat Mahal, who led a rebellion against British in Awadh.
For instance, during the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Muslims stood alongside their Hindu and Sikh brethren.
Sacrifices were for united India, not divided by religion.
The blood that freed our nation belonged to Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs and Christians alike.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our tonight's special edition of Unity in Diversity. In recent time, we have seen a disturbing trend of name-calling and hate comments, often labeling our Muslim brothers and sisters as anti-national and telling them to go to Pakistan. Today we have experts from different professions who would like to refute those allegations and tell the significance and contributions that Muslims have brought to India. First, let me introduce you to myself and the experts we have here. I myself am Sabah Amreen. We have historian Brother Fawaz. We have Brother Faizan, Professor of Political Science. We have Brother Israr, who's a social activist. We have Sister Tanzila, who's a journalist. We have Brother Rihan, who's an author. We have Sister Sara Huda, who's a descendant of a freedom fighter. We have Sister Tanisha, who's a community leader. We have Brother Syed Rihan, who's an academic scholar. And we have Brother Wajahat, who's a representative from cultural organization. Now let's begin with our first expert, Brother Fawaz.
Thank you, Sister Sabah. It's crucial to remember that Muslims have played a crucial role in India's fight for independence. From Nawab Siraj-ud-Dawla, who fought the British in the Battle of Plassey, to Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore, who resisted the British rule in India. Without their contributions, our freedom struggle would be complete.
Absolutely. But why do you think those contributions are often overlooked? Professor.
Well, the British colonial strategy of divide and rule planted deep-seated divisions among us. They feared the unity exhibited by Indians and thus promoted a narrative that pitted communities against each other. Leaders like Bahadur Shah Zafar played crucial roles. Despite its failure, we still fought against the British rule. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Now, Brother Israr, as a social activist, how do you see the impact of name-calling in community harmony?
Such hate speech severely impacts social cohesion. It alienates a significant portion of our population, creating distrust and fear. We must remember that our strength lies in unity. The sacrifices of Muslim freedom fighters like Ashfaqullah Khan, who refused to disobey and despite the promise of freedom, reminds us of the shed bloodshed for our nation's independence.
Very true. Brother Rihan, as an author, can you shed some light on the forgotten heroes of freedom struggle?
Certainly. My recent book highlights the life of 40 renowned Muslim freedom fighters, figures like Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who served as the youngest president of the Indian National Congress and was an icon of Hindu-Muslim unity, and Begum Hazrat Mahal, who led a rebellion against British in Awadh, are exemplary. These heroes fought not for a specific community, but for the nation as a whole.
Inspiring indeed. Sister Tanzila, as a journalist, what's your portrayal on Muslims in media? The media often perpetuates stereotypes, sensationalism. However, it's our duty to highlight the truth and bring forth stories of unity and sacrifice. For instance, during the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Muslims stood alongside their Hindu and Sikh brethren, facing British bullets. Anyways, we need more such stories to be heard. Thank you, Sister Tanzila. Sister Sara Huda, as a descendant of a freedom fighter, how does that impact you personally?
It's this hard. My great-grandfather fought in the Mahavi movement which resisted British colonial rule long before 1857. Their sacrifices were for united India, not divided by religion. We must honor their legacy by fostering unity, not division.
Thank you, Mr. Sarahura. Lastly, Mr. Tanisha, as a community leader, what message would you like to give to our viewers?
Unity is a strength. The blood that feed our nation belong to Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs and Christians alike. We must remember the words of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who said, "I am an essential element that has gone to build India. I can never surrender this claim." Let's honor our ancestors by embracing unity and brotherhood.
That's a powerful message. Now let's dive deeper into some specific contributions and movements. Brother Syed Riha, can you tell us about the Fakir Sayyasi movement?
Yeah, of course. This Sannyasi movement was one of the earliest uprising against British rule. Beginning around 1763, it was led by the Muslim fakirs like Majnu Shah and supported by Hindu sannyasis like Bhavani Pathak. This revolt was a testament to the unity between different religious communities against British rule.
And what about the Farazi movement? Brother Wajahat, can you enlighten us?
The Faraiji movement, led by Haji Shariatullah and later by his son Muhyiddin Ahmed, was a significant religious and social reform movement among Bengali Muslims. From 1830 to 1900, the Faraizis actively resisted the British policies and exploitation, emphasizing the importance of returning to pure Islamic practices and resisting colonial rule.
Those movements are truly inspiring. Now, Brother Fawaz, can you share something more about the Wahhabi movement?
Certainly, the Wahhabi movement was initiated by Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi and Shah Ismail Shahid, was one of the most prolonged anti-colonial movements in India. It was spanned from early 19th century and to the late 1800s. The movement was kept alive at the spirit of resistance against British rule.
It's incredible to see the depth of those contributions. Professor, can you touch upon the role of Muslim in 1857 uprising?
Yes, I can. The 1857 uprising, often referred to as the First War of Independence, saw significant Muslim participation. Leaders like Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, and generals like Bhagat Khan played crucial roles. Despite its limited success, both the Muslims and Hindus fought against the British rule to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Now, Brother Isra, what can you tell us about the Gaddar Party and its Muslim members?
The Gaddar Party, founded in 1913, was instrumental in organizing revolutionary activities against British rule. Muslims like Barkatullah and Syed Rahmat Shah were prominent members who worked tirelessly for India's independence. Their sacrifices are a testament to their unwavering commitment to the nation.
Thank you, Brother Isra. Brother Rihan, can you highlight the contributions of Muslim women in the freedom struggle?
Certainly, Muslim women played pivotal roles in the freedom movement. Begum Hazrat Mahal of Awadh led a prolonged resistance against British. Women like Begum Azizun, who fought alongside Nana Sahib, and Razia Khatun, who participated in the revolutionary activities, showcased their bravery and dedication to the cause.
Thank you, Brother Rihan. Those stories are truly inspiring and well said. Sister Tanzila, can you discuss the Khilafat movement and its significance?
Yeah, sure. The Khilafat movement, led by the great leaders like Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali, were quite crucial in mobilizing Indian freedom struggle. But 16 ran parallel to the non-cooperation movement led by Gandhi. Anyways, we are here for the freedom struggle.
Thank you, Sister Tanzila. Now, Sister Sara, what was the role of Muslim in Indian National Party, Congress Party?
Muslims held prominent positions in the Indian National Congress, with 9 Muslims serving as its president before 1947. Leaders like Maulana Abul Kalam Azad were central to the freedom movement, promoting Hindu-Muslim unity and spearheading significant campaigns like the Quit India movement.
Jazakallah, Sister Sara. Sister Tanisha, can you share some lesser-known heroes of freedom struggle?
Absolutely. Figures like Maulana Ahmadullah Shah of Faizabad, who led a valiant fight during the 1857 uprising, and Azimullah Khan, who influenced the rebellion ideologically, are among the many unsung heroes. Their contributions, though often overlooked, were instrumental in our freedom struggle.
It's important to remember
remember those contributions. Brother Sayyid Nihar, can you talk about the Muslim in Indian National
Army and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose effort?
Yeah, sure. The Indian National Army, INA, led by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, had a significant Muslim representation. Officers like General Shah Nawaz Khan and Colonel Habibur Rahman were the key figures of the INA. Their efforts were crucial in fighting for India's independence from the British rule.
And lastly, Brother Mujahid, can you convey a message to our viewers who are watching us right now talking about unity and brotherhood among us?
Our nation's strength lies in its unity and diversity. The freedom we enjoy today is a result of the collective efforts of people from all communities. We must remember that the bloodshed for our independence came from all Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs and Parsis alike. By embracing unity and brotherhood, we honor the legacy of our freedom fighters and ensure a prosperous future for our nation.
Thank you all for your insightful contribution. As we conclude, let's remember that the freedom we enjoy today is our collective legacy. It is up to us to maintain the unity and brotherhood among us which our forefathers fought for. Thank you all for joining on this event of unity in diversity. Jazakallahu khairan.